So, yes, 2:35. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Let us start the discussion. In the previous class, we have discussed two things. One is called enthalpy of reaction and another is called enthalpy of formation. And when we are discussing about enthalpy of formation, we have defined standard enthalpy of formation to be measured at 25 degrees centigrade temperature and 1 atmosphere pressure. In case of elements, standard enthalpy of formation of element is taken as 0, and which is supposed to be thermodynamically stable in non-stable form. That yesterday we have enjoyed it. Now, once we have finished these two things, let us try to have some relation between these two discussions. I am today discussing about numerical approach in conceptual way. You have discussed enthalpy of reaction and enthalpy of formation. Remember that enthalpy of reaction is equal to enthalpy of formation of products minus enthalpy of formation of reactants. And usually we discuss standard, it means we are measuring at 25 degrees centigrade temperature. Right. So always whenever you are measuring the enthalpy of reaction, as usual, products minus reactants, final minus initial. So formation of products minus formation of reactants. Suppose you want to enjoy some example, then we can say something like this. Methane undergoes oxidation so as to have formation of carbon dioxide and water. One carbon available, 4 hydrogens are also available. Here in this case, we have 2 oxygens. Methane is gas. Here we have gas. Here we have gas. Here we have liquid. That is not necessary at present. That was over. We have discussed that discussion in the previous class. Now, why it is my job? My job is to find out what is enthalpy of this reaction. Enthalpy of reaction is equal to enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide plus enthalpy of formation of water. These values are given to you into 2. Why? Enthalpy of formation was defined as the amount of heat energy released or absorbed when 1 mole of a substance is formed from its thermodynamically stable form of elements. Here we have 2 moles, therefore we have tried like this. This is called enthalpy of formation of products minus enthalpy of formation of reactants. Enthalpy of formation, standard enthalpy of formation of methane plus enthalpy of formation of oxygen. How many times? 2 times. This is what I have done. Then once I have done that, most of you may be saying, sir, cut it. This is not equal. Why? This is 0. Why? Standard enthalpy of formation of elements is taken as 0. We should not count this here in this case. Okay. Next. Suppose, for example, you are having a reaction something like this. Sir, I have aluminium plus Fe2. Wait a minute. People are shouting. I have to take care. Other than teacher, I should do some other necessary jobs. Mute all of them, cancel all of them. Now, if suppose, for example, you are having this type of reaction so as to give you Fe plus Al2O3. 2Al, 2Fe. What is this? It is a reaction, enthalpy of reaction. How to put it in the form of formation? Enthalpy of formation of Al2O3, first products, plus 2 times enthalpy of formation of iron. Standard enthalpy of formation of iron. Sir, this is 0. Please write down in the notes like this only, so that our mind should have capturing all these things number of times. Why you are cutting it? Yes, standard enthalpy of formation of elements, metals is taken as 0, minus 2 times enthalpy of formation of aluminium. Standard enthalpy of formation of metals is taken as 0, plus 1 time enthalpy of formation of Fe2O3. That means whenever we are having problems, in the problem, if suppose he has given enthalpy of formation, and if he is asking enthalpy of reaction, we should go in this manner. Go ahead. Murtuza Muhammad, do you belong to our class? If so, please mention your section and roll number. No problem. Four months are over. They don't know how to come to the class. And labeled as IIT students' names. Allah. This is a problem. Simply replace those things by number, you will get answer like that. So train yourself properly in this section. Shall I proceed? Is it over? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Fine, it's over. Jafar, over. Fine. Chaliye. Let us take one more example. थोड़ा सा complicated करके देखेंगे इसको. If you make it somewhat complicated, nothing is there. You people are genius. You can understand it. How to proceed? C6H6 plus oxygen gives you carbon dioxide plus water. 6 carbons, yes sir, available. Hydrogens available. 12 plus 3, 15. If I write 15 here, it becomes 30. I'll make it like this. This type of manipulation is advisable in thermochemistry because we want quantity. We want quantity. Now, enthalpy of reaction is equal to enthalpy of formation, standard enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide. How many times? 6 times. That I am training you. Enthalpy of formation of water. How many times? 3 times. Minus enthalpy of formation of benzene. How many times? 1 time. Plus 15 by 2 enthalpy of formation of oxygen. No, sir. Enthalpy of formation of oxygen is taken as 0. Therefore, only these values are sufficient for us. Nice. Now come to another story. What is the story? We have discussed enthalpy of reaction in terms of heat of formation. Now the problem is given something like this. He'll give you enthalpy of reaction to be calculated and bond energy is given to you. No problem, we'll proceed normally. But before going to try to learn the concept, then easily you can enjoy the game. Formation. Whenever we have formation of any substance, it means to say our interest is to form stable product. And what do we mean by the word stable product? Stable product means to say that the energy of the product should be less, because in nature, there is a rule that those substances are supposed to be less stable who are having more stable who are having less energy. Least energy, more stable, right? So if suppose you are talking about enthalpy of formation, energy should be released in general. In general, during formation of substances, energy is released. So that we can get stable products. Therefore, somewhere in your lower classes, teacher might have said that exothermic reactions favors stable products. Endothermic reactions also gives you product, but they will be unstable. So if you want to get stability criteria, delta H, F, enthalpy of formation, negative. Okay. Bond energy. This is not the correct name, but we are lazy people. Therefore, we say the word bond energy. Bond dissociation energy. Its correct name. Enthalpy of dissociation of bond. Some people say like this, right? So if you are saying dissociation energy, naturally you have to supply energy. Therefore, bond energy is endothermic process. Enthalpy of formation is exothermic process. Both of them are reverse of each other. Therefore, remember, since they are reverse of each other, therefore, enthalpy of reaction is equal to bond energy, means bond dissociation energy of reactants minus bond dissociation energy of products. I said number of times in thermodynamics, whenever delta word comes, final minus initial. 2 minus 1. Products minus reactants. Yes, it's absolutely correct, except in 2 places. One of the places like this, one will come in future. So in case of bond energy, don't say P minus R, say R minus P, bond energy of reactants minus bond energy of products. He will give you bond energy values and you have to enjoy how to go for calculation. For example, suppose he says, what is that reaction I should enjoy? Simple reaction I'll take. C6H6 plus 15 by 2 O2 gives you 6 moles of carbon dioxide and 3 moles of water. If the question has been provided bond energy parameters, and if you want to find out the enthalpy of reaction, come on, let us start. Enthalpy of reaction is equal to, we are learners, therefore beginners, hence we should enjoy the term bond energy. We should write number of times so that we get practiced. Bond energy of reactants minus products. Come on. Reactants. Who is that fellow? Benzene is a reactant. Who is that benzene? Benzene is something like this. right? If it is so, come on. Bond energy of C double bond C. How many C double bond C are present? This is one C double bond C. This is one C double bond C. This is a one C double bond C. Okay, so we should write 3 times bond energy of C double bond C plus bond energy of C single bond C. How many times we are having? Sir, it is like this. This is single bond. This is single bond. This is single bond. That means we are having 3 times bond energy of C single bond C. Try to understand properly. Then there is one more bond. What is that? Covalent bond. Bond energy of CH bond is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Plus this is about benzene. Now oxygen. What is oxygen? Sir, oxygen is this one. Right? Therefore, bond energy of oxygen. How many bonds? Double bond. And 15 by 2 times because bond energy is per mole. Right? The amount of energy required to break all the bonds in a mole of substance. This is bond energy of reactants minus bond energy of products. How to go for bond energy of products? For that purpose, what we do? Minus, come on, products, CO2. Who is that fellow CO2? Sir, CO2 is like this. C double bond O 2 times. C double bond O 2 times. Therefore, bond energy of C double bond O. How many times? 12 times. 12 times. Every molecule has 2 C double bond O. I'm writing 6 moles of carbon dioxide plus bond energy of water. So who is that fellow? Water. Water is this fellow. OH bonds. How many OH bonds? 2 OH bonds. How many water molecules? 3 moles. Therefore, if you want to write down the reaction in terms of bond energy, remember it is bond energy of reactants minus bond energy of products. Take down this. Zahiruddin, मैथमेटिक्स में सही कैलकुलेशन कर लीजिए, आपका आंसर आ जाएगा. 6 to the 12. Should come. सब्जेक्ट की दुम नहीं मालूम है. Should come. चलो ठीक है. तमीज कम. Should come. Should be changed. Is it over? Shall I proceed? No. Once you're having process in terms of bond formation, enthalpy of formation and bond energy, problems can be done in this manner. We can have different type of questions. You have to analyze, systematically analyze that bond energy. But sometimes what happens, that fellow will give different story. Let us see and then enjoy the question of IIT and the NEET discussion. This is suitable, very suitable chapter with respect to both of you. If this is scoring, there are 3 sections of thermodynamics. First law, you may score. You may score. So thermochemistry, you should score because you people can go up to that level. You have that much capacity. Third part of thermodynamics, there is a difficulty. There is a difficulty, especially for NEET boys and girls. There is a difficulty. MPC somehow, some of you, not all, some of you can manage. So please concentrate that topic which is in your control. Among the 3 sections, thermochemistry is very much comfortable to you to enjoy 4 marks, and this is having good weightage. Now, sometimes what happened, that fellow give a typical situation. What is that? See here. Suppose, for example, if I say, what is that question? The question should be given like this: hydrogen plus half mole of oxygen gives you H2O. Okay. If you are having this type of question, then the question comes, sir, let us try to understand what is data given to you. Data given is bond energy of hydrogen, bond energy of oxygen, bond energy of OH bond, right? Then you are simply very simple, sir. Enthalpy of this reaction is equal to bond energy of HH bond. How many times? 1 time. Plus bond energy of O single bond, sorry, O double bond, O, how many times? Half a time, half mole, minus, right, reactants, minus products, bond energy of, you have learned just now, which bond? OH bond. How many bonds? 2 bonds are available, right? In place of this discussion, suppose, for example, he'll give some discussion as a enthalpy of atomization of hydrogen. He has given you enthalpy of atomization of hydrogen. Some value is given to you, say for example X, and now he is asking find the enthalpy of reaction. Then we have to say, sir, let us try to learn that one. What is enthalpy of atomization? Now be careful, be careful. It's a beautiful discussion, and whenever I use the word beautiful, I'll enjoy, but it is difficult for students, so be careful. Whenever I say beautiful, be careful. Enthalpy of atomization. What is the concept behind enthalpy of atomization? See carefully. Very simple, but you have to enjoy that situation. Sir, I am having hydrogen. Sir, I want to break up this hydrogen molecule. No problem. What to do? Supply energy. What is the name of the energy? Sir, bond energy. Right? Bond energy. What is that bond energy? 104 kilocalories per mole. Number not necessary for you. It's for me. This is the amount of energy required to break up the molecule of hydrogen. It is called as 104 kilocalories per mole. Means, what is the physical meaning? When you supply 104 kilocalories of energy, to hydrogen molecule, 1 mole of molecule will have breakage of their 1 mole of bonds. That is the physical meaning that we have to understand. This is one side of the photograph. Other side of the photograph is, no sir, if you supply 104 kilocalories of energy, 2 gram atoms of hydrogen are formed. 2 gram atoms of hydrogen are formed. Suddenly roll number 1 stood up. He said, no, 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 I want to form only 1 gram atom of hydrogen. Is it possible? Not possible. But in terms of energy, yes, sir, I'll start. I'll take half mole of hydrogen. Instead of taking half mole of hydrogen, I'll say like this, make it half. Suppose, for example, if you take 104 and in place of that 104, if you supply 52 kilocalories of energy, tell me what will happen? Nothing will happen, sir. This is kilocalories for the formation of 1 gram atom of hydrogen. Formation of 1 gram atom of H hydrogen. This is known as enthalpy of atomization. Okay, enthalpy of atomization is defined as the amount of energy always required when 1 gram atom of any substance is formed. This is my job, over. Once lecturer's job is over, students start thinking on the thought process because people are having very good creative age. Therefore, what this is, sir? You were saying 104 by 2, 104 by 2. Okay, okay, sir, I'll get a formula. I'll write enthalpy of atomization is equal to bond energy by atomicity. One boy said this one. Third process. Yes, sir, atomicity of hydrogen is 2. What is atomicity? Total number of atoms in a mole is called atomicity. Oxygen, O2, atomicity is 2, right? Nitrogen, N2, Cl2, chlorine, fluorine, F2, I2, all they are having diatomic system, atomicity. Okay, if it is so, then roll number 2 started thinking process. Okay, okay, if you are saying enthalpy of atomization of hydrogen, comma, nitrogen, comma, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, for all such type of substances, very simple, sir, bond energy by atomicity. But when I am saying like this, third roll number stood up, sir, why you are doing this type of elongated work? I am doing to teach my students, but he is somewhat clever. He stand up and said, sir, why don't you say that in case of, instead of writing so many examples on the screen, why don't you say for homoatomic molecules? Yes, you are thinking on a right direction. Delta HA for homoatomic system. Yes, you are right. Homoatomic molecules is given as bond energy by atomicity. Nice. Once this concept is clear, one fellow stood up in the class. He said, okay, enthalpy of atomization of P4 is equal to, sir, bond energy by 4. Another fellow say, okay, shall I help you, sir? Enthalpy of atomization of sulfur exists as a said. What is that? Bond energy by 8. When this discussion was going on and when everyone is involving in the class, one boy said, sir, what about heteroatomic? Then I should say screen is over. Wait for the next screen. Go ahead. అందరూ ఉన్నారు క్లాస్లో ఫిజిక్స్ అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ అయిందా అయిపోయిందా పీరియడ్ శాస్త్రి సార్
ఇంకా ఉంది సార్
కొంచెం ఒకసారి
చెక్ చేసుకొని వస్తున్నాను
ఫస్ట్ ఏంటిదంటే కామ్ అండ్ క్వైట్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ తీసుకొచ్చిన తర్వాత దెన్ వీ కెన్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ ఎనీ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ఫ్రమ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ కోసం మనకు ఒక ఐసైట్ ఉండాలి భయం ఉండాలి ఆ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆ భయం తీసుకురండి sometimes we should take them closely, we should be friendly with them also, but thing is they are not, this is the age where they are having naughtiness, therefore so that let us try to extract more. ఇప్పుడు excel batches కొంత టెంపో ఫుల్ టెంపోలో ఉన్నారు రైట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ టాప్ ర్యాంకర్స్ ఇన్ ఐఐటి కానీ కొంచెం వాళ్ళకు మోటివేట్ చేస్తూ ఉండాలి అది చూసుకోండి రైట్
కొంచెం డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది సార్ ఎక్సెల్ వండాలి
ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది
వాయిస్ లోనే కొంచెం వస్తుంది
ఎక్సెల్ అంటే స్టార్ బ్యాచ్
మధ్య మధ్యలో కొంచెం సెటరేట్ చేసుకొని
అది కాదు ఒక్కసారి ఏం చేయండి అంటే మనం అన్ని బాయ్స్ బయట పిలిచి నాట్ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ ఆఫ్ ది గర్ల్స్ సపరేట్లీ పిలిచి ఒకసారి వాళ్ళతో ఫ్రెండ్లీ టాక్ చేసి వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఫ్యూచర్ రైట్ హౌ మచ్ టైమ్ యూ ఆర్ స్పెండింగ్ విత్ అస్ అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ యాటిట్యూడ్ ఇన్ ద లైఫ్ ఇఫ్ యూ చేంజ్ యువర్ యాటిట్యూడ్ అండ్ యూ ఆర్ డిసిప్లిన్ రిజల్ట్ ఈస్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ యూ అది కొంచెం మనం సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ మోటివేట్ చేసుకుంటే మే నాట్ బి ఆల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక ముగ్గురు నలుగురు ఉంటారు వీ డోంట్ కేర్ అబౌట్ దట్ దోస్ హు ఆర్ రియల్లీ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ వీ కీప్ విత్ అస్ అలాంగ్ విత్ దమ్ అండ్ విల్ గో ఫర్ రిజల్ట్ మనకు రిజల్ట్ కావాలి కొంచెం చూసుకోండి పేపర్స్ ఎట్లా ఉన్నాయి నడుస్తుంది కొంచెం కీ అది రిజల్ట్ అయిపోయిందా కంప్లీట్ కీ కరెక్షన్స్ అంటే యాడ్ చేసుకున్నారా టాపర్స్ ఎవరు ఉన్నారో ఎవరికి మార్క్స్ కొంచెం బార్డర్లో ఉన్నాయి అదంతా మనం కొంచెం తెలుసుకొని ఇక్కడ పర్సనల్ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం దిస్ ఇస్ ఫస్ట్ టెస్ట్ కదా సో రివిజన్ టెస్ట్ లో ఫస్ట్ టెస్ట్
జీరోస్ వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నారు
అదే మనకు అదే అవాయిడ్ చేసుకొని వాళ్ళకి పట్టుకుని లేకుంటే వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్కి పిలిచి దట్ డిస్కషన్ రైట్ ఓకే
సరే ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ ఉంటే ఫేస్ చేసుకుంటాం
మీకు చేయండి కొంచెం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చేసేయండి
ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్
Now, if suppose I want to answer this boy that what is the meaning of heteroatomic system? Before going to heteroatomic system, in my mind, I'm having one more question with me. And what is that question? That question is, examiner has given this type of situation. He has given a very typical example. What is that example? The example was C plus O2 gives you CO2. Now, enthalpy, he has given some data and I have to proceed. What I have to proceed? First of all, I'll go according to mine. Okay, delta enthalpy of reaction is equal to bond energy of carbon. When I was just completing the tail of the carbon, one boy stand up, sir, where is the question of bond energy? Are you having bond in carbon? How you are going to write bond energy in carbon? Yes. We are not able to write down bond energy because it is neither CC bond or C double bond or C triple bond. It's C, only C. Okay, let us write first and try to explore what is the beauty inherent here. Bond energy of O double bond O minus bond energy of C double bond O. Zahiruddin, how many? 2 times. अब यहाँ पे क्या होगा? This bond energy of carbon is replaced by the word enthalpy of atomization of carbon. फिर भी आपको objection आएगा सर, how do you are going to say atomization? Is it C2 or C3 or C4? You can't write atomization also. Yes, science says atomization. In case of such elements, science says atomization for conversion of non-suitable form of substance which is available in nature to suitable form of substance. Are you able to understand? Yes. That means whenever we are discussing enthalpy of atomization for homoatomic molecules, you are very happy, there will be atomicity. But when you come to carbon, such type of elements where there is no atom available, right? There is no molecule available. Sir, are you having H2 like that C2? No. In that case, heat of atomization word is used. Bond energy is a crime. We should not use the word bond energy. In place of that, we replace this as enthalpy of atomization. But when I'm saying enthalpy of atomization, you have objections, sir. Where is the question of breaking molecule into atom, as you have said in the previous example? Then the meaning of enthalpy of atomization is, in such cases, it is the amount of energy required. It is the amount of energy required for conversion of non-suitable form of substance to suitable form of substance. Which substance we are using? Gaseous form of substance. Which substance available? Graphite. So I cannot directly involve graphite in the system for chemical reaction in the reaction vessel. I will change it. When I'm explaining this one boy stood up from the last bench and said, sir, is it not enthalpy of sublimation? Yes, he is absolutely correct. What is this? It is solid. Therefore, in case of carbon, remember, in case of carbon, enthalpy of sublimation itself, enthalpy of sublimation of graphite, not diamond, only graphite, is known as enthalpy of atomization. Okay, remember this point. Come on, next. Suppose, for example, that fellow has given to you NH3, heteroatomic system. Then what is the sense of saying atomicity? Actually, if you understand the word properly in the previous discussion, you will say, sir, there is no significance of the word atomization. Atomization means molecular form should come to atomic form. Okay, previous one, non-suitable form to suitable form. How can you go for this one? Yes. What is the meaning of atomization? Try to separate all the atoms. Try to separate all the atoms. If suppose, for example, you are trying to separate the atoms, then what is required? Sir, N plus dash 3H. Is it not atoms? Yes, formation of atoms. And what is this? This ammonia appears to be sp3 hybridization with a lone pair of electron. Tetrahedral geometry changes to pyramidal. Okay, if it is so, then we say, sir, nothing has to be done. I had to break up this bond. I have to break up this bond. I have to break up this bond. And for that purpose, I am supplying energy. Is it not bond dissociation energy? Yes, right? Then in your chemical bonding classes, Krishna Mohan sir will explain definitely that average bond energy, average, this is different, this is different, this is different. Not much different, very close together. But people use the word average bond dissociation energy or bond energy. This bond energy is responsible to break up. What is the meaning of average bond energy? Average bond energy is the energy required to break up all the three bonds in case of ammonia. Bond energy of ammonia means is equal to energy required for dissociation of 3 moles of NH bonds. Is it correct? Suppose, for example, I'll give you bond energy of NH bond alone, single, right? If you supply this much amount of energy, we get 1 nitrogen, 3 hydrogen. Suppose, for example, if bond energy of NH bond is X, can you tell me what is enthalpy of atomization? Enthalpy of atomization is what? 3x. I had to break up 3 bonds. Go ahead. बॉन्ड एनर्जी ऑफ अमोनिया अलग चीज है, बॉन्ड एनर्जी ऑफ एनएच बॉन्ड अलग चीज है, याद रखिए. अच्छा देखिए स्लाइड को. सर बेटा केमिकल बॉन्डिंग फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री में नहीं आता। खैर ठीक है, मैं बात केमिकल बॉन्डिंग सर ही पढ़ाते हैं, कृष्ण मोहन सर ही पढ़ाते हैं, मैं नहीं पढ़ाता हूँ। ठीक है, मैं उनसे बात करूँ। What you have started after PC क्लासिफिकेशन के बाद क्या कौन सा चैप्टर करें आप? Inorganic chemistry after S block. ठीक है. And what about organic? Did you started? Did you started organic chemistry? GOC. अल्लाह अकबर. बेटा बगैर केमिकल बॉन्ड मालूम करे के, बगैर फिजन के, बगैर हेट्रोलिटिक होमोलिटिक फिजन के, हाउ कैन यू गो टू केमिकल बॉन्ड ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री? इसका मतलब है केमिकल बॉन्डिंग सर पढ़ा चुके होंगे, आप एब्सेंट थे क्या थे, जरा चेक करो। बगैर केमिकल बॉन्डिंग के कोई भी ऑर्गेनिक को नहीं जाते बेटा। पक्का केमिकल बॉन्डिंग नहीं हुआ अभी? ओके ओके, चलो ठीक है, चलो ठीक है। हाँ शायद, हाँ वही पढ़ाएंगे, उन्हें पढ़ाएंगे, वो ही पढ़ाएंगे, लेकिन नॉट ओवर बट ओवर मोहन सर। खैर चलो ठीक है, सर से बात करो, सर से बात करो, सर बोलेंगे आपको कि कब पढ़ाना है क्या है। चलो ठीक है, चलो हम अपने काम पे आएंगे। नहीं बेटा मैं नहीं पढ़ाता हूँ केमिकल बॉन्डिंग, मैं नहीं पढ़ाता हूँ। इट इज not done. He is planning to complete chemical bonding in 4 days. No problem. Go ahead. Sir is having very good experience. He can plan properly. Okay. Please come back to physical chemistry. He is a senior most person than me. Let us come back. चलिए अब what we have done, enthalpy of reaction, enthalpy of formation. बीच में एक रास्ता निकला था. We have discussed relation between all of them and atomization. Come on, next story. There is one more enthalpy. What is that? This is called enthalpy of combustion, delta Hc. This is known as enthalpy of combustion. Enthalpy of combustion. चलिए, ये कौन है बेटा? बार बार वेट करो बोल रहे, क्यों नहीं लिख रहे बेटा? अनस क्या प्रॉब्लम है? बार इतना सब बोल रहे हो गया बोल के बार बार सब बोल रहे, फिर आप नहीं हुआ बोले तो कमान हरी अप। थोड़ा सा तेज लिखो बेटा, थोड़ा सा तेज लिखो। अच्छा सिस्टमैटिक अरेंजमेंट करके चेयर बैठो सामने, तेज जैसे लिख सकते हैं आप वैसा बैठिए। तो सेटअप बना लीजिए, क्योंकि ये साल आपको ऐसा ही गुजारना है। सेटअप अच्छा बनाइए, तेज लिखिए, सब चीजें 2:30 बजे से पहले सब पेंसिल पेन स्केल रजिस्टर राइट, पूरा फिजिकली मेंटली तैयार हो तो तेज लिख सकते। शैल आई प्रोसीड नाउ? अनस 1 मिनट मोर। ठीक है चलो ठीक है। हो गया? अनस enthalpy of combustion, right? What is the meaning of the word combustion? पढ़ने का तरीका क्या है? पहले हेडिंग को समझो, खत्म हो गया, आधा सब्जेक्ट खत्म हो गया। Combustion. What is combustion? Combustion is burning of a substance in presence of oxygen. When I say so, one of you may say, sir, is it oxidation? Yes, it is not oxidation. It is a special type of oxidation. It is a special type of oxidation. Okay, sir, what is the difference between oxidation and combustion? Oxidation is addition of oxygen. Job is over. Combustion means addition of oxygen along with the release of energy, any form of energy, light energy, heat energy, any type of energy. If it is released, it is called as combustion. Therefore, the definition is given as burning of a substance in presence of oxygen is known as combustion, right? It is combustion process means it is supposed to be oxidation with release of energy. Otherwise, no. Release of energy is important. Okay. If release of energy is important, then you can understand that combustion must be always exothermic process. Yes, you are right. Burning of a fuel, burning of petrol, burning of liquid petroleum gas, all these are combustion processes. They give energy. Therefore, when you define the concept, how do you proceed? Okay, sir, very simple. It is the amount of heat energy. It is amount of heat energy released. When you're writing notes, write down, underline, released. It is the amount of energy released when 1 mole of substance. When 1 mole, second important point. When 1 mole of substance is burned in excess of oxygen. In excess of oxygen. The definition. What are the points where I have to give importance? This fellow. How much amount of energy is released? Always released. Always released. What is that? Delta Hc is always which quantity? Negative quantity. Up to 2 definitions in the previous case, I said maybe released, maybe absorbed. I don't know. But here it is always released, right? In examination, they give you negative sign. लेकिन कभी-कभी examiner आपके psychology से खेलेगा. He will give you enthalpy of combustion. नाम देगा लेकिन positive sign देगा. Be careful. Whenever they say enthalpy of combustion, sign should be negative. अगर negative sign नहीं है, negative बनाइए. Okay, आरिफ सर बोले positive sign है तो negative बनाइए. Okay, go ahead. हम genius हैं. Negative है तो positive बनाइए. Okay, negative one come. -1 mark will be available for that. If it is negative, don't touch it. If it is positive, make it negative. ये कब की बात है? सिर्फ combustion में. Only in case of combustion process. चलिए. Example. How to proceed? Very simple, sir. Carbon plus oxygen gives you carbon dioxide. What it should be called? Enthalpy. Sir, wait a minute. Sir, ये example आप बार-बार वही बोल रहे हैं. Enthalpy of reaction में ये बोले. ठीक है, हम एक्सेप्ट कर लिए. एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड में भी यही बोले. ठीक है, अभी भी वही बोल रहे हैं. क्या चक्कर है? यस, इट इज एंथैल्पी ऑफ कंबशन ऑफ कार्बन. इट वाज एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. ये अगर समझ में आ गए तो कई प्रॉब्लम्स आसानी से हो जाते हैं. एंथैल्पी ऑफ कंबशन ऑफ कार्बन इज -94 kilocalories per mole. No, sir. This is also known as enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide. ये कई जगह होता है. Formation of any molecule becomes combustion of any element. ये ऐसा होता है. जहां जहां ऐसा होता है वहां आपको enjoy करना चाहिए. For example, formation में condition है कि यहाँ पे graphite होना चाहिए. चलिए. For example, H2 plus half O2 gives you what? H2O. Is it not enthalpy of formation of water? Yes, sir. No. Today it is not enthalpy of formation of water. Today it is enthalpy of combustion of hydrogen. यहाँ राइट में वाटर है, लेफ्ट में हाइड्रोजन है। हाइड्रोजन का कंबशन हो रहा है, वाटर का फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है, H+O2 SO2 like that. If you are having such type of situation, remember, अब जरा ध्यान से सुनिए, एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन में आपको एनर्जी चूज करना नहीं है, मतलब साइन नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव जो दिया वही लेंगे, वॉट एवर गिवन टू यू हैव टू अडॉप्ट इट. In case of enthalpy of combustion, if it is negative, be happy and enjoy the problem. If it is positive, make it negative. लेकिन आपको धोखा कैसा दिया जाएगा एग्जामिनर की तरफ से, एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज गिवन एज 94 किलो कैलोरीज पर मोल, ऐसा बोलेगा. तब आपको अलर्ट रह के ये सोचना पड़ेगा, सर एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज नथिंग बट एंथैल्पी ऑफ कंबशन ऑफ कार्बन, देयरफॉर ऐसे फॉर्मेशन में हमको अपनी तरफ से माइनस लगाना पड़ेगा. अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, इफ सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल ही सेज enthalpy of formation of water is equal to plus 68 kilocalories, then be careful, formation of water सब ठीक ठाक है, लेकिन ये असल में combustion of hydrogen है, इसलिए हम इसको अपनी तरफ से माइनस लगाएंगे. फॉर्मेशन में आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, whatever energy is given you have to use that one, but in these type of special cases you should be careful. Next, suppose for example you are saying combustion, चलिए एक reaction है sir, here we are talking about CH4 plus 2 moles of oxygen gives you carbon dioxide a mole and dash. What is that? Water molecules. How many water molecules? 2 water molecules. तब क्या बोलेंगे इसको? Enthalpy of combustion of methane. देखना क्या है, 1 mole है या नहीं है, is equal to something -212 kilocalories. नंबर आपको जरूरत नहीं है, नंबर मेरे लिए जरूरी है. चलिए, this is called enthalpy of combustion. Last 1 minute is left out. Let us enjoy a typical beautiful example. N2 plus O2 gives you oxides of nitrogen under different conditions. Oxides of nitrogen. Who are those fellows? Nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, nitrogen sesqui oxide, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen pentoxide. अब क्वेश्चन क्या होगा? Is it oxidation? Yes sir, it is oxidation. Why? We are adding oxygen. Is it combustion? Is it combustion? It is combustion. Remember, N2 nitrogen has triple bond, oxygen has double bond. It requires 225 kilocalories per mole. It requires 118 kilocalories per mole. That much energy is not available at room temperature. Therefore, this reaction says I will not take place. This reaction takes place only when you supply energy. Therefore, this is which process? Endothermic process. Therefore, it is misguiding example. It is an example of very good example of oxidation, but it is not the case of combustion because it is not exothermic reaction, because there is no energy released here. It is an endothermic process. Therefore, it is classified as what? Oxidation reaction. We don't classify. It is a misguiding example with respect to this one. Similarly, there is one more beautiful example available. What is that? Fluorine. Advanced examination. Fluorine and oxygen. Is it oxidation? Sir, yes, we are adding oxygen. No, it is not oxidation. It is called fluorination. क्यों? Electronegativity fluorine की ज़्यादा है. Therefore, it is not. Addition of oxygen to chlorine, oxidation. Why? Electronegativity of chlorine is this one. अच्छा, अगर किसी सब्सटेंस में इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी ऑफ क्लोरीन ज्यादा है, तब आप क्या बोले थे जूनियर 10th क्लास में? क्लोरीनेशन ऑफ हाइड्रोकार्बन्स पढ़ाए थे आपके टीचर. क्लोरीनेशन ऑफ हाइड्रोकार्बन, कार्बन की इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी कम है, क्लोरीन की ज्यादा है. सो दिस इज नॉट ऑक्सीडेशन. जब ऑक्सीडेशन नहीं है तो कंबशन का सवाल नहीं पैदा होगा. दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ फ्लोरिनेशन. प्लीज टेक डाउन दैट. we'll stop here today. Tomorrow we'll enjoy the remaining part. This week I requested the in charge of your section that this week I am not going to give paper. Since last 3 weeks I have done very laborious work to prepare two papers and all 45 questions. So I have taken permission that I will not take this. Please clarify whether whole of the paper is inorganic or not. Based upon that, you prepare yourself. Okay. Thank you.